Fortunately, too many of us are willing to live in mediocrity for 30 years instead of sacrificing for 3.
Wow.
To have freedom for the next 27.
Yeah.
But it's a very different lifestyle. That's the heart of all this. It's discontentment and FOMO, right? It's fear of missing out. And what I talk about in the book is JOMO. It's the joy of missing out.
Yeah.
It's the joy of going like, dude, I don't care about all that. I'm running my own race. And the problem with running other people's race is that there is no finish line. Like when you're trying to keep up with someone else, well, they have a whole different life and they have different goals. And so why are you trying to keep up with these people that you don't really care about all that much? And so if you really have strong friends in your corner, they're gonna be cheering you on and going like, dude, I totally get it. I'll come over tonight, I'll bring a pizza, we'll hang. We don't have to go out to the bar, you know what I mean? And so that takes a level of sacrifice, especially when you're young. Because when you're young, it's all about like, these are the best years of my life, I can't skip that vacation. But man, just 2 years out of the next 40, if you can sacrifice, it changes everything.
Yes.
It changes the trajectory of your life. So that's what I hope people are willing to do at the end of this. I think it starts with dealing with their past. I mean, our friend Dr. John Deloney has a book called Own Your Past, Change Your Future. And you have to own the shame and the guilt and the baggage and the mistakes and the hurt and the financial trauma and your parents divorced and it was money stress and money fights and you took on all this debt. So who are you to ever build wealth and become debt free? You have to grapple with that and go like, that's not who I am. Those are things that happened. And yes, they may have happened to me, but that's not gonna control my destiny. And so it starts with that, realizing like, this is my past, that's fine, that's not where I'm headed. And so we always say the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason. So if you can start looking ahead going, regardless and in spite of all of that, I am going to change my family tree. That's what we call it. Build generational wealth, break the cycles and chains that have come before me. Those people are the ones that inspire me every day when they call the show. And they didn't come from money, they didn't come from trust funds. They came from broken homes and little incomes and they overcame. Those are the heroes. Realizing that you're not alone, I think, is a really important step. Too many people feel like, well, my situation's different and I'm unique and I'm special and they don't get it. But then I meet people every day and I get in a Financial Peace University class and there's all these other people who made money mistakes and I go, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not the only idiot out there. I'm not the only average George out there. That to me is encouraging because it tells me that this path is something that other people have done before me, that will come after me, and that I can do this too. And so I think it's important to get other people around you, and that might mean cutting out some toxic friends who are not trying to be on that journey.
Sure.
Finding people who aren't trying to live on less than they make. That's an important piece, and the other piece is feeling progress. And that's why I think those baby steps are so important. When you start with just, hey, $1,000, can you get $1,000? Most of us would say, yeah, I can sell some stuff, I can get the second job, I can, not eat out this month. Now it's like, all right, let's attack that consumer debt. Debt snowball, smallest to largest, let's just attack the small debt. Can we just do that? One thing at a time, we're not saving, we're not investing, we're just gonna do one thing at a time. And that to me is what builds that hope and builds that progress and momentum and keeps you motivated on the journey. You have to have a little win early on or else you give up. And what I found was that budgets are not for broke people, budgets are not for wealthy people, budgets are for intentional people. That was a game changer for me because I always thought like, we have to be a super nerd and love Excel. Or you have to be like really broke because you think budget, you think this person's real frugal and stingy and cheap and they can't spend anything. You say, I'm on a budget, that means I can't go out with the friends.
Right.
But to me, it's just putting a plan on paper and looking at reality going, my income is $5,000. I need to spend, I'm gonna make a plan for every single dollar because otherwise what happens? Dollars float away. You go, where? Oh my gosh, we spent $600 eating out this month, door dashing a burrito. All of that unintentional spending and impulse leads to you not hitting financial goals.
Yeah, so it's conscious spending habits. It's being aware of where you're spending your money. There was a quote in here, let me see this quote real quick. I saw this based on budgeting.
I had a whole chapter on called Budgeting is Freedom. That's the first one in the Breaking Free section to help people